operations tomorrow following the detention of the man. Attacks on schools are relatively rare in Sweden. A cloudy Thursday with scattered showers and thunder showers in Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg drops to an overnight low of 12, peaking at 16 degrees. Pretoria 15 and 18, and Vereeniging 12 and 16 degrees. Loluthando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Comfort ends where Marawa Sports Worldwide begins.
Lastly, Braro, please, when you come to Cape Town, just inform me, Braro. I will make all means to see you with my naked eye. I thank you, Braro Berito.
I also want to see you with my naked eye. Make it next week, my friend. Make it next week. We're going to be down in Cape Town. We'll be broadcasting from there. It's #MSW.
If it's shaking sport, we are already on it.
Now, there's been a debate over technology in football that has reached boiling point. The championship clubs have slammed the door shut on video reviews. International football journalist Joe Cran, when you look at the likes of Spain and Italy, Germany, the second tier, Joe, they use VAR. So what does England risk by standing apart?
It's difficult to say, really. I'm not sure they risk anything. I think one thing they do risk is the fact that there are going to be big decisions that go against clubs in big games. And, we've got the playoffs coming up in a few weeks' time, and there could be a bad decision in the playoff that cost the team a spot in the Premier League, and decision means hundreds of millions of pounds.
#MSW.
Rob, I see similarities with English Premiership and Betway Premiership. Look at the team that is leading Orlando Pirates. Is leading the log. It's number one on the log. Arsenal in the English Premiership is number one on the log. Then look at the teams that are seconding, that are behind the log leaders, which is Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Manchester City. They do have the game in hands. Both these teams have game in hands. Mamelodi Sundowns have 2 game in hands, while Man City is having 1 game in hand. So I see those similarities in English Premiership versus the Betway Premiership, and it's interesting, Rob. Everybody will be behind his remote. The remote will be on the hand, Rob.
This is where sport breaks, bends, and gets told straight.
From the president of Swimming South Africa himself, Alan Fritz. But talking about tasks and what you put out, you've set a target of 20 plus athletes. How realistic, Alan, is that, and what gaps still need to be filled?
We're pretty much there, Robbie, in terms of 20 odd athletes. I know there's still quite a bit of debate amongst the selection committee, but the executive should get the team in the next couple of days to ratify.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. 50 days. That's all that stands between us and the World Cup. Clear your calendar. Warn your boss. The beautiful game is about to take over.
Into the galaxy of greats!
Let's go right here on MSW.
He's got the ground. He's got a penalty.
All I can say is, if you had one opportunity to ask Sepp Blatter a question, what would that question be? So don't tell me now. Just send me a WhatsApp voice note on 060-708-0484. Otherwise, you can call us later on 011-883-8947. And if you had one question to ask a man who sat alongside Carlos Alberto Pereira at the FIFA World Cup here in South Africa in 2010, you had a question to ask Coach Pitso Mosimane. Anything. What would that question be? Again, it's the same procedure. There's something special. Before I officially open the show, the countdown is on.
50 days. That's all that stands between us and the World Cup. Clear your calendar. Warn your boss. The beautiful game is about to take over.
Into the galaxy of greats!
Let's go right here on MSW.
He's got the ground. He's got a penalty.
It's as simple as that. It's 50 days to go before the FIFA World Cup, and some people have been saying, where's the excitement? Where's the hype? We had hype when, South Africa was hosting in 2010, but we're not seeing much. You're not hearing much. The world has kind of gone mute. It's a massive occasion. It's the biggest sporting occasion in the world. But yeah, that's why today we're going to be reliving that. We're going to be pumping it up right here in studio. So be a part of it. We'll head off to Zurich. Live conversation with the former president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter. And as I say, in studio, he's already here, Coach Pitso Mosimane. So welcome to it. It is hashtag MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Maybe it's a case of Varvazier, hey? Varvazier, back in 2010. And that is why 50 days, just 50 days until that world comes to a stop. I mean, every breath, everyone's eyes are going to be turning to the grandest stage of them all, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Well, from the streets of Soweto to the stadiums of the United States of America, Canada, Mexico, dreams are being sharpened. And believe you me, squads are being finalized. History is quietly preparing to be written. But tonight, though, we don't just talk about the World Cup. I mean, we break it down with a man who has lived the pressure. He's also commanded the touchline at times under immense pressure and also conquered the continent. He's a serial winner. A tactical mastermind. I mean, a leader who didn't just open the doors for African coaches. I think you look at it and you say he kicked them down, those doors. I mean, from lifting the CAF Champions League to proving his pedigree across the borders, across cultures, across football's biggest stages. And he is not just part of the conversation, he defines it. That's a coach, Dr. Pitso Mosimane, who's here in studio. Coach, good to see you. Welcome to Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Evening, Rob. What an introduction. Thank you. Humbled as always. Thank you very much.
50 days. Can you believe it? That's all that's left until South Africa heads off or should be kicking off a World Cup in a similar manner that you did back in 2010 against Mexico.
Yeah, time flies and the countdown keeps going. Yeah, as you said, probably different when you hosting it and when you are not the host. More pressure when you host. Anxiety, expectations, readiness of the team. Yeah, all that. And not only on the technical side, also the structures, are the stadiums ready and all that. That's what we faced. But now at least all those pressures are gone. We just have to focus on the organization of the team, administration, and most importantly, the game, right? So what's going to happen on the green grass? Sometimes the green grass, what happens on the green grass can hide or reveal the grade or the challenges of the game. So the green grass always spikes things, to be honest.
I think one question I've never asked you, and I'm glad you introduced the green grass effect, because before the guys walked off through the tunnel onto the field, there would have had to be a debate amongst the technical team as to which 11 soldiers you give that mantle to say, you are starting today. At what time, how many days before the actual kickoff did the technical team decide on those 11 players?
Yeah, I think if you have a team or a structure where there's no questions or debate, then you'll say maybe there's dictatorship, right? But there should be. It's healthy to have debate and opinions, but there's always one leader on the team who will say who is starting and who's not starting. But if you have people around you and don't say nothing, then it means you're dictating, or you don't have the right people next to you. So either way.
Was there a position which was up for debate that maybe it took the longest to decide who versus the other should actually start the game?
Well, the debate will always be there if you remember that the team changed a bit. If you look at, there's no longer Confederation Cup now, which in my opinion, I don't understand why. Because that builds the team and also measures if you are ready for the tournament. I mean, even the structure itself, logistics and everything, as the host, and also even when you are traveling to the game. I think I missed the Confederation Cup. For reasons like for us, South Africa, we had to find out how far are we. In few months' time, we'll be playing the World Cup, meaning the main event. So the Confederation Cup helped us to I can say maybe to ease up the nerves and anxiety.
It was a dress rehearsal, basically.
Yeah, and what a dress rehearsal than playing Spain and playing, Spain with Iniesta on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
And playing Brazil with Dani Alves and them on the pitch, and we lost the game in the semi-finals. In the 92nd minute, I think you remember that free kick that Dani Alves made. So, but we still had a different team because different coach. Was Pajera in the World Cup, was Joel Santana in the Confederation Cup, and Joel Santana liked to play with 3-4-3. Some people call 5-3-2. Depends. I don't like to argue whether it's a 3-4-3 because depends how you line up on your defense. It becomes a 5, and when you attack, you leave 3 behind. So Joel Santana was famously known in Brazil for that system, and he wanted that system. A little bit of Pajera started and took over from me. Pajera from 2019, he took over from me because I was just putting the team together as an interim coach, and I played 4 at the back, and he liked to play 4 at the back, coincidentally. And we cannot say we didn't do well with Santana because we reached the semi-finals. Yeah, but maybe after that, after the semi-finals, we didn't do that well, and it created that questions. And it's right because we're going for the World Cup. It is not experimenting or anything. And then Pajera went back to back 4, right? So it was different because when you played we had Matthew Booth, we had even Benson Mhlongo and Aaron. We played with 3 center backs, and we had even Abo Siasangweni, So, Morgan Gould and them. So, it was different preparations, and it gives you a chance to see who you have and who's your striker and all that, yeah.
Joel Santana, what kind of a human being was he? Because, there were times people started making jokes and saying that, if the team loses and it's time to do a post-match interview, then he's like, I know me, no English, no. But if the team wins, he's there. He's talking about what happened in the team. But just from a behind-the-scenes perspective.
Yeah, Joel was a happy-go-merry guy, very jolly, always laughing, always... even in Brazil, they know him as that kind of a coach he even do commercials in Brazil, right? He's a happy man, right? Pajera is a little bit different character, calm, decent man, also decent top guy who has won the World Cup a lot of times and doesn't get involved in jokings and all that. But with the staff, when we are all within the staff, nice guy, talks and make crack jokes also. But Joel was, a little bit of a comedian.
A jolly guy, yeah. I think, just referring to what Coach Pitso is talking about. If you haven't seen it, Joel Santana, you can go on YouTube, you can Google. He's there. He's doing adverts for Shower to Shower.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He's a top man.
Yeah.
So you look and you say, that was our Bafana coach. The other thing that, you look at the expanded format now, so it's 48 nations that go there.
Yeah.
How different would things have been for you if that format was in place back in 2010? And if you fast forward to now, what will that change about the World Cup?
Well, I guess this is the same thing we're talking with the Cup of Nations. A Cup of Nations was 16 teams before, if you remember. And even the CAF Champions League has been extended. Before, you would never go to a group and be a bye. You would have to play a round or two before you go into the group. But because football is business, I guess my opinion is that more games, more TVs, more money, and then it's been extended. On the group, there's no difference because you still have to play your same number of games in your group, but you have many more rounds to go because it's many teams. More games, so you need to beef up in terms of personnel. Now the games are not less, we have more games. So probably you need more physios, more staff and all that, more traveling.
Data analytics and all of that.
Yeah, more games, a lot. So you end up maybe have to double or bring more people on board because the demands of the game says that. Also when more games, more numbers, a little bit easier to qualify. Because now those teams that never used to be there are there. I'm not saying it's easy, but to be honest, hence we have Cape Verde in the World Cup, right? They would never have been there because it was 5 teams before, right? So the top 10 play against each other, and where's Senegal, where's Nigeria, where's Egypt there, where's Morocco. We haven't spoken about Algeria, Tunis, and everything. So now it's much, much better and financially good for football, more games. But also, I can say not easier, but could qualify more easier than before.
Could. That's the key word. But to come back from the break, though, we're going to be touching base with the coach. And maybe, like he says, it was 5 African teams that were at the World Cup. So now we've doubled the numbers to 10, which for me
you have a chance.
Sure, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
But who? Okay, let's save that for after the break. Who of the 10 would go through to the knockout stage? Who of the 10 would be in the semi-final? Maybe that's a better question.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
If you haven't tasted KFC strips, how would you know that they're coated in our 11 secret herbs and spices? How would you know that they're crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside? How would you know that you can get the strips bucket for one from just $49.90? If you haven't tasted KFC strips, how would you know how finger-licking good they are? KFC strips, available in original, zinger, or dunked. You won't get it till you taste them. KFC is finger-licking good. T's and C's apply.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Whether it's a sun-soaked beach escape, an adventure-packed tour, or a luxury cruise, Flight Center is your center for travel. We make travel easy, affordable, and stress-free. Plus, you can enjoy exclusive traveler perks with our frequent flighty rewards program. Flight Center's got you covered. Visit your nearest Flight Center store or online at flightcenter.co.za. Flight Center, your center for travel.
With Lotto Stars Aviator, the sky is not the limit. It's your payout. Watch as the multipliers climb. And if your timing is perfect, you could cash out payouts of up to 50 million rand in seconds. Will you ride the thrill to the end? Bet now at lottostar.co.za. Your world of live games. Lottostars licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
They said, "Hi, just wait your turn.
Hold on.
Shrink, blend in." But you were built to stand out. You don't cruise, you calculate. Sharp lines, quick feet, nimble like Mzansi traffic, focus like sneaker drops. Every rev a reminder, not to follow, but to rise. Suzuki doesn't just build hatchbacks, we build stories in motion. The Swift Baleno Celerio. For those who know, that challenge isn't a problem, it's the point.
Book a test drive at suzukiauto.co.za.
Yes.
Suzuki, for the challengers.
There's no one like you, and there never will be.
People always told me,
From the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody
be careful what you do.
and the director of Training Day,
And mother always told me,
May you let your light shine.
this April,
You're the greatest of all time.
there are many legends, but there is only one. Michael, only in cinemas coming soon.
That's Amanda, before she got naked. When the power tripped, Amanda felt more helpless than when her mom-in-law called her lasagna different. So Amanda got naked. She got car and home insurance at a lower premium and can now call an electrician anytime via the Naked app. There we go. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
saying no, 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 no. But when it's really yes, 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 yes.
Now, there's been a debate over technology in football that has reached boiling point. The championship clubs have slammed the door shut on video reviews. International football journalist Joe Cran. I mean, we've also heard, Joe, managers like Philippe Clement as well as Gerhard Struber, they've argued that VAR brings fairness, but how much weight did their options and opinions carry in this debate?
Is between fairness and between, whether it's actually ruining the game that we love. And I think that seeing VAR work better in different countries and in different places, but the way that it's been bemoaned in the Premier League and the way that it's worked in the Premier League has just really turned people off to it. And yeah, look, without VAR, things are going to get, they're going to be got wrong, but wrong decisions are still getting made with VAR.
You saying no, 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 no. But when it's really yes, 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 yes.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights. Halfway to 100? No. 50 days to glory. The tackles, the tears, the trophy lift. It's closer than you think. Start your chance now. This is your warning shot. Be here. Don't miss it.
It's exactly that. 50 days to go before the FIFA World Cup in America, United States of America, obviously. With everything that's happening over there, the World Cup still has to go on. Canada, Mexico are the other places where they're going to be hosting. So just as we're heading to the break, we're watching, Sky Sports News with one eye. And if you're a Chelsea fan, maybe you're not surprised by this. But yeah, that's the breaking news that Chelsea have sacked Liam Rossini following the club's dismal run of form. I mean, he's been dismissed after a little more than, 3 months in the job. If you watched the game last night against Brighton, 3-0, they lost that game. So if you have somebody like Danny Welbeck who's sitting on the bench, given his age, his top goal scorer comes in and scores a goal, the third goal for them, then you know that, it was going to be curtains come today. I mean, it was the 5th loss in a row, without scoring as well. 7th defeat in 8 games across all competitions. The team sits, 7th place in the Premier League. And the hopes of the Champions League qualification is hanging by a thread. Well, one thing that's not hanging by a thread is our conversation here with former Bafana coach. Coach Pitso Mosimane is here. Lots of your WhatsApp voice notes. Also, if you want to tune into the YouTube channel, please feel free. We are live there. You can post some of your questions there for the coach as well. All right, your questions are coming in.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and all the listeners. This is Joel from Watfield in Benoni. Thank you so much for bringing in Coach Pitso Mosimane. All I need to know is that if he can make a comparison between the coach Carlos Alberto Pereira and Hugo Bruce, what are some of the similarities these people have got in the way they are coaching Bafana? That's all I want to know. Thank you. Sharp.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. When you look at similarities, are there any?
Yeah, it's a bit unfair to can compare with Coach Hugo Bruce because I don't have inside information, to be honest. We can only talk about his results, which were, for me, in my opinion, are very good. He took us to the World Cup. He took us to Cup of Nations. I know we can say that in the Cup of Nations we have regressed a bit, to be honest, in terms of results. But from a football coach side, I think, he has done well, more than all of us since the days of Clive Barker, if you have to ask. Well, we can always say Carlos Queiroz was never given enough chance, to be honest. But that's debatable, But, Pereira won the World Cup 3 times, guys. And he's been to the World Cup maybe 6 times. So, so we respect Coach Hugo Bruce, a legend in Germany. I remember in Belgium. I remember him, his group with the Jan Colomans and them. What a team Belgium had, big name also in Belgium in football, It's like the Johan Hiskens in Holland and the Cruyff. Those are legends in their own countries, and we used to see them on TV during the World Cup. But on how he handled the team in South Africa, yes, I think always the green grass is the main thing, Rob. And I don't think on the green grass is done so bad. No, let's be honest and fair. Right, we can always question some of the things. And look, he became a gentleman. He apologized about the Mboga's issue. We forgive because we've all made our own mistakes. And but I can't really compare that much. Yeah, it's very unfair for me to compare. I think people inside who have worked with Pereira and Hugo Bruce are the ones to say, right? But Pereira, different character, personality. You'd never have this issue of Mbagazi, and Pereira is another level. He dealt with Ronaldo, Romario.
How do you think he would have
Bebeto, Dunga, Danny Alves. That's another level, right?
Those are big names.
Yeah, independent, and if you know Brazil well, from the players come from different cultures, from favelas and them, and you get a Kaká who come from nice family. So I don't think Coach Hugo Bruce is facing that. And you have a population of maybe 2 times South Africa who expects to win the World Cup, nothing else. There was a Pele before. No. It's a different. You can't compare. For me, I don't think we can compare.
I'm quite interested, because you threw in the Mbogazi issue. Just from foresight and you knowing Pereira as well as you did, how do you think he would have handled that situation?
Well, Pereira knows this, that Romario and them, and they come from humble beginnings. He knows they come from favelas, right? And I'm not saying Mbogazi come from favelas. Mbogazi come from a township like where I come from. And Pereira knows that, right? Probably that makes a bigger difference with Europe and to Brazil. Brazil, they understand us. They understand where we come from, what's happening. You don't have those things in Brussels, right? I've been there in the north of Belgium. It's decent people, proper first world country sort of.
I was about to say first world versus third world.
Yeah, it's different. No, you can't compare.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, modern football, a lot of people see the whole data analytics that I was talking about is very data driven. But how much still comes down to just bare instincts? Because you're there, you're in the touchline, you can read situations. You know, data versus that. For you, what would the 2026 approach be?
You know, I like to compare. If me and you say who are the most successful coaches in the world, you find the Alex Ferguson's, the Pep, because the trophy cabinet talks, right? Carlos Ancelotti, Arsene Wenger, those are at high level, right? And you cannot really say data determines the game. Yes, influences, right? Because I also work with people with data and analysis, but you still have to coach the team. And it's like AI, right? You don't need AI to coach a player, right? That AI doesn't work there. You got to deal with the human being and talk, unless you consult to AI to say, what questions can I ask this person? You know, but you have to deal with the player, right? And we have different personalities, characters, players who have their own opinion. You have Stephen Pienaar come from Westbury. I think you know what Westbury is like. You have other guys, Sia Sangweni, the boy from KZN, in Nsembi, and you have to know how to speak to Sia, to give him respect. Nomvete, good soul, you know. Different, Nomvete is different than Spusiso Zuma, right? And it's not a Morgan Gold and a Bongani Kumalo who really expresses himself, or Matthew Booth, who can really, you know, Bongani Kumalo of been to good schools and all that, but we're all in the same group. So it's just different. So data doesn't make you win or lose the game, but it enhances, you know. It will give you a easier way, a structured way, quicker to know what is there. But it won't make you get the best out of a player to talk out of him, because you need the player to play. But you can say then data will give you opportunities to see where he has been on the pitch, where he likes to go. You know those heat maps that we see there. Yeah, but that doesn't make you win a game, right? People can be very good when then otherwise the analytics will be coaches. Yeah. Then we would not have a job, right?
You'd sit at home.
Yeah. Then you'd have a machine, a robot coaching.
The one thing, I mean, on the basis of that, and we're talking, you know, robotics and all sorts of things, this man might be close to being seen as maybe not human right now, because he's a very special talent. I mean, Mohankot has spoken about him. I'll try and play a clip of what he said when he talks about Relem Fukeng.
Yes.
So when you have a special talent, and you've mentioned special talents from Brazil, they have to be treated in a different way, in a certain way.
Yeah.
You cotton wool them, and you do it deliberately because they are the superstars, in the same way Clive did with a Doc Kumalo as well.
Yeah.
How do you handle a Rele going into a World Cup?
You know, before you go to Rele, I remember when I was a coach at Bafana, and Stephen Pienaar was on holiday because he deserved the holidays. And you know, there's that game that clashes with, in June, that clashes with holidays, that coaches and players, we don't like that fixture, right? Because we just finished the big season. Now we have, and sometimes it's a friendly game. You know, you don't want that. And I think Steven maybe was in Maldives or whatever, you know, and I said, say, hey, Skilo, where are you? He says, hey, coach, I'm in South Asia. We have a game, do you know? He says, yeah, I know, coach. I just needed a little bit of a break, coach. I've been running a lot here at Everton and all that. Then now you have to measure to say, you leave him out. What are the other players going to say? What's the country going to say? You try to be hard on him, and he doesn't pitch because you didn't handle it right. So you see, that's where AI doesn't come in, right?
It's the human factor. It's a fatherly factor.
Thank you.
That has to
So
come
you
in.
got to say, okay, but we have a game on this day. All right, I'll give you 2 more days, but pitch. You have Macbeth Sibaya says, Coach, I'm playing, how big Russia is, and I'm playing so far. It's like 4 or 5 hours from where I'm playing. I'm playing an away game, and you're calling me for a game of a Tuesday, and I'm playing on a Sunday. Come on, rap. And then Sibaya would arrive the night before the match, and you bench him after he did all that work. And then you play him, and then the other player says, but this guy just comes and pitch and play.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, that's now real football coaching that comes in. And you do what you have to do, and what talks is the green grass, right?
Rele, how do you handle him?
Yeah, top talent, eh? Sure, he's very intelligent. The always challenge is that is he a winger or a striker? Is a 10.
He's a 10.
Depends how you use a 10. If you play 4-3-3, there's no 10s. It's 2 10s. It's a 6 and 2 8s or 10s. I don't know. If you play 4-2-3-1, he's a 10. But if you play like Unai Emery playing 4-4-2, but with wingers coming inside a lot, then he's not a winger. He fits in well in Aston Villa's shape. Depends how you want to use them, Rob. So
but
he's a half of almost everything. Yeah. But what I like is now he's scoring goals
and providing assists. If it's not a Paulus assisting him, he's assisting a Paulus and vice versa.
But we used to know him as assisting a lot.
Correct.
But now he's scoring.
The consistency. So that's the conversation, Coach, where I see Wadislam playing him in the same way that Hugo Broos is playing him. So which says to me that there would have been a Wadu conversation and a Broos conversation to say, for the sake of both club and country, let's be consistent in how we select him.
Yeah, it's a bit tough because... Okay, I'm Hugo Broos. I've done well for this country, and I've achieved what I've achieved in this way. Sometimes, if you listen or you want to be flexible, maybe you're a softie. You succumb into pressure. Sometimes, when you stay hard and you don't want to have that paera culture of dealing with Romario and Ronaldinho. Then you lack way of bringing the team together. And I will always come back to one thing. The results, what's happening on the green grass, always protects what happened, or what's your decision. And hindsight is always the best side. Because we always talk after the game, says, yeah, he's a 10. When he scores as a 10, we say Yambon is a 10, but maybe at the big international games when he plays as a 10 in the Cup of Nations against Cameroon, against all that, probably too heavy for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying? That's why I'll make an example. We played Teko as a right winger in the World Cup, and he had to come inside to play. We know he's not going to run down the line, right? And Steven Pienaar was a winger at Everton, but we played him as a 10. Because also you can't leave your best players not on the pitch. So you also have to play your best players, right? So that's the beauty of coaching, right? The results always talk.
The big decision.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. How are you saying? Good evening to Sir Pitso Mosimane. You've got a very knowledgeable coach in Pitso Mosimane. I just want to know, when is the gentleman, a super coach, going back into coaching? It's a Moses Mukwena Hamukwakwila. Thank you.
All right, I've got to take a break. We'll come back to that question, but I just need a yes or a no, Coach.
Yeah.
The news is out that you've bought a club.
Yeah.
Is that true? Yes or no?
Do we? Yes.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
It's 6 a.m. in Kenya. Victor's little sister starts high school today, but her fees need to be paid first. Back in Jersey, Victor logs onto the Absa banking app and sends her money and a little extra for lunch. It arrives instantly.
Your money makes their world go round. Send cash to 18 countries across the world with Absa Global Pay. It's safe, instant, and affordable. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Women, there are things you never saw coming, like no more load shedding or listening to Maskandi in English. Or your crush liking your post from last year. Hey, you know what else you never saw coming? Burger King selling fried chicken. You never expected it, nah? Yeah. Zanzi, Burger King is now serving juicy, crispy fried chicken. Never expected it, nah?
The Ultra South Africa 2026 lineup is here. Get ready for John Summit, Axwell, DJ Snake, Afrojack back-to-back with Rehab, Dennis Ferrer, Shimza, and many more. 2 cities, 2 massive days, 1 long weekend. 25 April, Expo Centre Nasrec, Johannesburg. 26 April, The Ostrich, Cape Town. Ultra SA 2026. Get your tickets now at ultrasouthafrica.com.
Okay, all done.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You won't get any more leaks. I've put Flash Harry on the roof.
Oh!
You do know Flash Harry is a waterproofing expert. He's been around since 1975.
Are you just going to leave him up there then?
Not everyone knows Flash Harry is the expert in DIY waterproofing solutions that are available in all good hardware stores. Flash Harry. It just works in a flash. Find your nearest stockist at flashharry.co.za.
They say the best kept secret is the one you already know. Welcome to Indaba Hotel Fourways, where world-class conferences and unforgettable African feasts at the Chief Boba meet pure relaxation at Moana Spa. Meetings done? Tuck into a legendary courtyard burger, create your signature gin at our gin school, enjoy a wine farm experience, or simply wander landscaped gardens. Visit indabahotel.co.za for the secret you've always known.
Guess what?
What?
King Pie is giving away 3 cars. Yep, you heard me. And you could be the lucky winner driving one home. All you have to do is buy the Big Share Feast, backed by popular demand. That's right. Grab yourself a feast and stand a chance to win big. Now that's true freedom. Get yours at your nearest King Pie for only 199 Rand. T's and C's apply. King Pie, a taste of comfort.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
I said no.
Now, there's been a debate over technology in football that has reached boiling point. The championship clubs have slammed the door shut on video reviews. International football journalist Joe Cran, what's your personal take, though? Because, I've never hidden from the public and expressed myself in terms of me not being a big VAR fan. I've always said that in football, the one thing that really makes sense for me is goal line technology. You've seen how VAR has worked and not worked in certain leagues or tournaments or World Cups or Champions Leagues, etc. Do you think that they've got a point here?
Yeah, I'm completely with you on goal line technology. I agree with the need for VAR. I just think it needs to be used properly, and I think that's what fans will celebrate a goal and then have to wait 5 minutes to find out if that goal counts or not. Then it would be a massive asset to the game. I just think we're just not there at the moment.
I said no.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. 50 days. That's all that stands between us and the World Cup. Clear your calendar. Warn your boss. The beautiful game is about to take over. Let's go. Right here on MSW.
Good evening, Robin. Good evening, dear shareholders. I'm looking something. If I compare the squad we sent during 2010 and now, we are sending the A grade squad in 50 days in this World Cup. Is Pitso agree with me? Because if you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, it's on the verge of winning Champions League, of which was none in 2010. If you look at Mbekeze Mbogazi, that defender, I've never seen, even Lucas Radebe is not even close to that Mbekeze Mbogazi caliber of defending. So if I look now, we're sending A grade of the squad in this World Cup. Plus, it's easy this one to go through to the next stage. You need only 3 points or maybe 3 draws, and then you wait for maybe to be the best number 3. I thank you.
Hi, Mr. Marawa and the team. Hi, Coach. Coach, my question to you is, don't you think that we made a mistake by allocating all our effort and resources to the match against Mexico, and we ignored other countries in the group, the likes of Uruguay? And secondly, don't you think that we might repeat the similar mistake by allocating our resources again against Mexico? Because now we are currently organizing friendly matches to match how Mexico, or to match Mexico's style of play. David and Parkwood.
Rob, this is Tommy from Edenville. Greetings to you and greetings to Coach Pitso. I have got 2 questions for Coach Pitso. In 2010, we had Tico Modise, Steven Pina at number 10. This squad most likely will be having Orele and an aging Tembazwane. If Coach Pitso was asked to advise on that, who else would he carry as our number 10 for South Africa? I know he doesn't like to comment on other coaches' jobs and stuff like that. Also, what does he think about the omission of Tapelo Mrena and Grant Kekana there? Does he not think that they are needed in the squad? And finally, my question will be to him, if he's asked to come as a technical advisor or director for the World Cup, just for the World Cup purposes, is he available to take that? Thanks, Rob.
Evening to Rob, evening to all the shareholders, and evening to your amazing guest in the studio. Dumela Ntate Jingles. Nice to have you in the studio once again. Question to you relating to the Bafana saga that you went through with Safa. I know it's very frustrating that the governing body of soccer is not as legit and clean as it should be. However, beyond just coaching, have you ever thought about playing a role or having an office there at the Safa house? If so, which position would you like to fill? That of the president or anything else? I would like to know if you've got an ambition for that.
Hey, Baba Marawa, Ngoma. Hey, Mosimane, the best coach we ever have in South Africa, the best coach we ever produced as South Africans. Quick one, I had the rumor that Ghana want him, Al Ahly want him. I read the story a few months ago. Somalia wanted him. So it's like every team now want Pitso, but they can't have him. What's the problem? Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe they can't match the salary. What's the problem there? Because we always hear the rumor that this team want Pitso, this team want Pitso, but this deal didn't come to alive. What's the problem? What stopped the deal to come alive? Quickly, Chiefs want him. We know Chiefs fans want him. Can they call Chiefs?
Sure, so many rumors. Hey, do we even have the time for all of this? Don't worry, we're still going to be heading off to Zurich later on. Sepp Blatter, former FIFA president, is going to be on standby for us at the top of the hour. So if you want to follow that conversation, head off right now to the YouTube channel. We're live in studio. Dr. Pitso Mosimane, my guest, former Bafana coach, multiple trophy winner and award winner, is here. And multiple questions as well. We'll try and be quick, eh, Coach?
Okay.
Okay, let's start off with Ghana. Did Ghana approach you before the World Cup?
Ghana. I guess there was a little bit of a talk. When I asked the office said there's a talk. But the talk doesn't mean. Sometimes talks are. Maybe we just want to have the 3 names, and then we're finding out of the 3 who we want. And if you want Carlos Queiroz, you're going to pay top dollar. We all know, right? Yes.
Why not for Pitso Mosimane? You would have paid top dollar.
Yeah, okay. But but there was never, you know what is concrete, Rob? Concrete is when the letter came to say, would like to have you and can we have a conversation over this? A call from a Ghana official, for me, is not a really serious talk. And also the other thing is, do I really want to go for 2 months for 1 game, 3 games, 4 games? No, maybe I don't want 3 games, 4 games, right? Because for whatever reason. And maybe Carlos says, why not? Let me go have fun. Let me go to the World Cup again, you know. So it depends how you see it. If you ask me, it can be a little bit not too well for me to go for 3, 4 games.
Is it limiting?
Yeah. What do you want to achieve? I mean,
because it looks like the structure of what they did for Carlos Queiroz is that they've given him obviously those games and then given him an incentive structure that says if you qualify for knockout stage and you get to the semi-final, then we look at your long-term contract.
Carlos Queiroz is a big coach, guys, let's be honest, and a very respectable coach. Maybe he feels, I've got nothing to lose, let me go. Right? And maybe I look at it differently than him. I've had now 9 months, easy 10, so recharge batteries and everything. So do I want for 3 months again and look around again after? No, maybe not. Right? So
because that's one of the voice notes, Coach, that was saying that whether it's Algeria or west part of Africa that are looking for you, but then
there's always talk, Rob. There was a talk in Algeria. There's always talk. There is talk. There was a talk. There's still talk in Egypt. There's a talk in Tunis. There's always talks.
But is the talk centered around Coach Pitso Mosimane going back as a head coach of a national team or a head coach of a club?
Look, there's somebody talking to us about Libya national team, right? But do you really want to go there? I don't know.
To Libya?
Yeah. I mean, do I want to go there? Maybe not, right? And sometimes if you see how what happened to Rulani, what happened to the ex-coach of TS Galaxy, you read those stories. I'm 61, Rob, right? So sometimes maybe I don't need adventure, right? So sometimes I just want proper things and the right stuff. I'm not saying easy, but genuine stuff and proper stuff. It doesn't have to be a top team. There's talks. There's talk in the UAE. There's always a talk, Rob. Trust me, there's always a talk.
But obviously this talk about you buying a franchise, you buying a club, tell me more about
That's a serious talk.
Okay, tell me more. What's happened?
The GDL.
Yeah.
GDL, unbelievable. 6 days before, I did not know that we would have a GDL team. It came as a surprise. And when it came on the table at the office to say, there's a GDL here, they said, what? I said, yeah. I said, okay, I know the competition because Rhea is playing in the GDL at Kaizer Chiefs. So, and then I looked at our structure where we have coaching children in the youth, in the schools. We're coaching about 13,000 children per week. And I look at our FCs, we call them PMFCs. We have those small 4 clubs. We've got one now in Waterfall, the new one. LFA teams, not really about top talent. It's about participation and also doing the right principles of training of youth. I like that because my coach is not afraid to be fired, because even if he loses, he's not going to get fired. As long as he knows the principles of youth training. And that's why we wrote a manual that we will be launching very soon, and hopefully we'll be here to talk about it. And if you have a son who's playing football, I want my coach to teach him to play football the right way, because I'm not sure he's going to be a professional player or not, right? So, but he likes the game, so why can't he play? He has a right to play, like we have the right for academics at school. Don't tell us you're going to produce a top player and the boy is 14, 13. You don't know. Time will tell, but teach him the right things in football. I always say that with our motto is creating a player of tomorrow. And a player of tomorrow is I always say, let's not focus on producing professional football players. Let's produce professionals in football. You are a professional in football at the moment. What are we talking? If you're not a professional, there's a doctor, there's a physio, there's a guy, there's a horticulturist, there's a big derby coming who's doing the event.
Eventing
security, catering. What an event. So those are professionals in football. Sponsorship. So sports science.
Marketers.
So, I'm interested in producing professionals in football more than a professional player. How many are we going to get out of... Look at the structure we have. We're training 13,000 children in schools. We have about 350 children who are playing in the FCs. Now we're going to have 100 players in GDL. We have about 98 coaches, Rob. We have the full house at the office of professionals, accountants, and everybody. Maybe 13, 14 people at the office. Seriously doing youth football? But I want it proper. I want the right thing. Now we have GDL. So now we need team managers, we need physios also there. So I like football to give opportunity to anybody who likes it. We all played it. Doesn't matter how good you were. We played, we know what is an overlap. Everybody will tell you what's right back because we played at school, we played in the streets. We played at the backyard. So for me, it's all about that. It's not about having a team in the PSL, maybe not now. Mm-hmm. I like the foundation. I like the structure. I've got little ones, 7-year-olds that I was with them yesterday, running around. It's so it makes me happy.
Football from the heart.
Yeah, football from the heart. And then you have 11s, 17s. Now you're gonna have 15, 19. It's a whole ecosystem. That's what I like. So now I can say we have the youth ecosystem. No space in between.
All right, let's pick up on that conversation. I know exactly where to pick it up from because it is top of the hour. I have invited that we spread it across into extra time. Coach has agreed. Sepp Blatter is finishing off his meeting. We'll chat to him. Even if we need a comfort break, we'll take a comfort break, whatever it takes. There's voice notes, there's everything. But you know what? Barawa Sports Worldwide will continue, though. As I said, you can migrate across to the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you are there already to pick up on this conversation. He's saying that he's got the ecosystem. He's got exactly what he's always wanted as far as structure is concerned. He also talk about the work that Dr. Kanyeza has implemented and what he will pick up from that. So, hey, 50 days to go. This has been Barawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Barawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW. Previously on Barawa Sports Worldwide.
Rise up, yeah.
From the president of Swimming South Africa himself, Alan Fritz, we're seeing a transition phase here, Alan, in South African swimming, or the start of a new golden generation, as I would call it.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Robbie. There is a new golden generation coming through. I mean, it was the Amy Kenny showdown in PE. With Peter Kasia, they were most probably the best of the breed that was there. But don't forget, 200 meters breaststroke, Kaylin Corbett, our money is on her for a medal. Caitlin Lange swam really, really well. Aragon in the fly. Rebecca Mida, you could see she wasn't tapered fully. She trains in New Zealand these days. She's a phenomenal athlete, and I expect a lot from her, particularly at the Commonwealth Games.
Keep on keeping it what you
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Fulfilling here, and good evening to MSW Shoulders, and good evening to Dr. Coach Pitso Mosimane. Now, I mean, firstly, congratulations on, his side completing their, affiliation to the Gauteng Development League. I think maybe this is a massive, massive step. Maybe the talent that he raves on so much can be seen by majority of the shareholders that really do consume youth development football in the manner that they do, and maybe rave on about players that they believe should be in prominent PSL teams, and maybe the youth national teams as well, like your Amachita, Amachimbos, and so on and so forth. So this is a very, very good approach, very good start, and I'm very happy for them in that instance. But to the man himself, I mean, as a coach, if you were Bafana coach, well, God willing, that happens in the near future, what sort of tweaks would you make from the squad call-up from the last FIFA break, and as we look ahead into the FIFA World Cup? Because there are some players that many believe don't even deserve a spot at the World Cup, and there's some players that people believe should be called up by Coach Hugo Broos as far as the World Cup is concerned. Because we're 50 days away from the World Cup. What changes would a Coach Hugo Broos make, be it goalkeeping, defense, midfield, and maybe the forward position? That's what I want to find out from my guest in studio. Great show as always. Thanks.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Dr. Coach Pitso Mosimane. For me, Rob, having watched Relay and Ime Akon at GDL and the prospect of watching them at the World Cup will give me a full cycle of their careers. Very excited for that. And Dr. Mosimane, I'm pleased that your academy will be competing at the GDL. And given how often I've also seen you at the GDL matches, I'm very confident that you have the strong understanding of the league. But I'm very interested to know how is the academy planning to balance player development and winning games, considering that at GDL level, you compete for 12 points every weekend, under 14, 15, 17, and 19. And relegation is determined by a cumulative number of points a team collects, irrespective of whether you're good in under 14. But lastly, want to know if Ria is injured, because he's my favorite player, and his absence at Kaizer Chiefs under 15 is felt with the number of goals that are scoring recently, because he's a lethal striker. His absence has been felt.
All right, so GDL under the spotlight, huh? Very encouraging to know that. Our interview as we migrate onto the YouTube channel. So thank you very much indeed for sticking it out. I can see a lot of questions that you've posted on the channel as well. So acknowledging everybody that is part of the conversation here. Dr. Pitso Mosimane, my guest tonight here on the show. As we've said, we've been celebrating countdown. I don't know if it's celebrated. I don't know if the world is even aware that there will be a World Cup in 50 days' time. How's your son? I believe he's injured.
Yeah, Ray has been out for 6 weeks. He was on a cast. Yeah, he's back. He's doing his rehab. He was limping while walking. Now he's walking. His speed is improving on the walk. He's young. They heal quicker. So he will be back. He has missed maybe 2 months, I think, of the game. So it's part of the game. I mean,
but how do you react? As coach now. Never mind, being the father, but the game, and you know how youngsters when they just be on the field. Now you got to say, listen, calm down for 2 months.
Yeah.
How do you keep him in check so that he doesn't lose the mental game?
Well, sometimes we're lucky because Rea it's a little bit of a character. Sometimes I expected Rea just to be a little bit of a cheese boy, but he's strong-minded. Yeah. He wants to get back on the pitch. He's working hard. It's unbelievable. He's training. He's working hard. Rehab. Okay, we support him. Also, support is always adds value. And sometimes I look at other children who come from humble beginnings. He's got a bio. He's got a physio. So sometimes I said to him, I never had these things, eh?
It's a lot. But you just said you.
You see, so yeah, he will be back. He got a trial now. A week before he got injured, he got a trial.
Where?
In Spain, I'll tell you later. I don't want to be putting it. Yeah, but a good, strong team in the La Liga and good youth program.
Yeah.
Okay, not Barcelona and Real Madrid. Maybe everybody must come down.
You never know.
No, not that. But proper team in terms of youth development. One of the best youth development programs. And people will say, maybe the dad made a call. No, I didn't make a call. There's a lot of people who scout. They have a lot of scouting that they do. In the GDL, as we say, all the games are on the app, and some on Sunday they're live. So you will see 10, 15 games just played. So you don't make decisions on highlights, because no agent sends bad highlights. I've never seen a bad highlight.
Even the YouTube ones.
Yeah. So look, that's the place for youth, and I say to now, sometimes I didn't know how to answer the parents to say at our FCs and let's say what's the ultimate. So now, yeah, if your son is good in the FCs where we're playing the LFAs, let him get to GDL. We've got all the age groups, so there's no argument. Now, if you're good, go to the GDL and let's see what happens. But I still believe the layers are now closing down from, we have the 7s, 9s, 11s, 13, till 19 now. So I believe in the structure, Rob. So now we'll see where it goes now. After 19, that's what maybe is coming next. What we do now after 19, you need to be playing in the Premier League.
You got to be somewhere.
Yeah, you got to
be placed.
Yeah, otherwise we off ramp take the US route and get academics with football, or go to UJ Talks and play Varsity Cup. Or start to be a professional in football, as I said. Maybe be a doctor and come to work with us in football.
But you obviously would have been impressed by the work that a Dr. Kanyeza would have had. I mean, how impressed have you been?
No, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy, those guys who fall in love with the game. We've seen a lot of those guys. And then sometimes we say, but what do you want in football when you're a medical practitioner? He loves the game. He supports the community. He's working at the surgery within the community. You got to understand, he has a close relationship with this patients and everything. So that's how he took the team. He supported the team because he's a doctor in the neighborhood, in the area. So he said, Coach, please, you know what, I've done my bit. So look after East Rand, and it's a big region. From Benoni, Wattville, Springs, Thokoza, Brakpan. What a region, man. There was a Benoni United there. So we should be able to say there should be something coming out of that. So they have a chance on that. And now I heard somebody says, hey, Coach, by the way, where are you from? I said, born in Kagiso, raised in Soweto. Yes. Oh. think about Soweto, right? Think about where you come from. You are in Mamelodi there. You are everywhere. I said, guys, I will be back. Give me a chance. Yeah, so... Yeah, I know. I owe them one.
No.
I need to have something in Soweto.
Yeah, that's why I brought it on the table, just in case somebody says, hey, you didn't remind Coach about the project there's now. And I think a lot of people, I'm looking at some of the comments, just asking about the staging of trials. I mean, is that ongoing? Parents asking here, saying that when can they bring their talented children to be seen? I don't know how you approach it.
I like the guy who was talking about GDL, says there's a relegation and promotion. The doctor gave me the team. When I look, we don't have any of our 4 teams in the top above. We are all bottom of the log or second from the bottom. So I said, Doc, what is that what you're giving me? He says, yeah, you're the right guy to take over. You can just turn this thing around. And you got to understand, I don't even know the names of the players and checking the structures, the coaches. And I don't want to be that guy who talks about football and don't follow the principles. Had a meeting with Safa, make sure that everything is right. I check everything. And coach, remember C license on the bench? And now looking around and I must walk the talk. So I can't. So now coaches, we're looking for coaches. I don't know, players. Do we have the right players? Are we bottom of the log because we don't have players or we don't have structure? But it's organization and everything. And also just speak to Javupule, Bomkonza and them to say, guys, help. Is there any talent that can play in this space? There's Bernard Park. I come from the Recher Park. We've got boys from Recher Park. So I guess with time, it will be okay. That's why we run trials, because we want to say, if you never had an opportunity and you have talent, please come and play, but show that you're better than what we have, I
think it's a fair call. You were talking about structure. One of the voice notes early on, before 7 o'clock, they asked about you. They asked about your involvement or maybe future involvement in Safa within the structures. And they say, is that something you desire to say that, I know the Safa. I have played, I've coached within and under the umbrella of Safa. Does Pitso Mosimane foresee himself within a leadership role within Safa other than coaching?
Well, I still participate in Safa, in coaching, education. Recent coach education that the players got A licenses. We have got coaches of Polokwane City, Badela, Mbazo, Aaron, and them. They were there. So I instruct about leadership and all that. I always help.
But would you go, like now, there's going to be an election for the president of Safa. Is that something you look at?
Look, I believe that I wanted to understand the ecosystem of football. I knew professional football. I knew football at the highest level, meaning age group-wise. I did not know youth football. For the last 3 years, I've been learning football. I can talk about youth football now. Wrote a manual about youth football, went back to my football federation, presented, it's like a curriculum of how you coach 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 11-year-olds. Because I said, I've put the cart before the horse. I have clubs, I have that. But I don't have a manual, I don't have a curriculum. So I looked around, I said, okay, I don't find it. So what do you do, coach? Right? Research and put this thing here together and give a coach who is in a rural area in Ngandla and say, I've seen you coaching the boys. What age group are you coaching? He says, I'm coaching, I'm under 11. Chapter 4, focus go was good. This is how you coach the under 11s, the size of the pitch, the size of the ball, the number of players you should have, the time you must play, what do you address. You can't take in academics, you can't take a grade 4 book of mathematics we niggas abantwana ku grade 1, and then you're saying they're stupid. No, they're not ready mentally, right? So then I put those things right, and then it's there now. Is layouts, market printing, and then I say I want to teach with these things, and then have to go to the CETAs and say no, lento ngati novel lento. So if you want to write a textbook, this is how a textbook is written, because you say you want to educate about it. So those are the things that I keep putting us back. But I also don't want a document that somebody from UEFA come here. We have coaches here from Europe, right? And then they look at this thing, they say, hey, what is this thing? So I just want to make sure that the principles of UEFA are there, principles of FIFA are there, principles of English FA are there, La Liga are there. So if they're saying this is not the right manual, then it means your whole structures are wrong yourselves. And they've built Lamine Yamal, they've built Thierry Henry at the academy in France and all that, right? So that's what I did. And I said, African guy has not written this. We're all getting these manuals. If you give it to somebody from Europe, you'll say, but we've written this thing 10 years back. But no, please, we don't have a first world country here. We have coaches in rural areas. We have coaches at school. This is more important. We have got, the pyramid is full of grassroots football. We need that first. Before you talk about entrepreneurs, do you have a primary school? Do you have a manual? Do you have a high school? So that's what I'm doing.
Sure.
So when you ask me about that thing,
the Safa one,
I need to understand the ecosystem.
But then ultimately, when you talk about a manual, then that goes back to, do we have that structure within Safa, within a technical director? I remember the days of Hoskrita when we started, they were reaching out and saying, come and teach. These are South Africans.
Even Carlos Queiroz had the principles, let's be honest. And
got the dust.
But look, Rob, we have to try again, right? So we've got that now, and we have to give it to the schools and give it to the clubs and community clubs. It's not for Coach Polokwane City and against Maritzburg City. You can't give Hanti that. He will say, but the principles are very difficult there, to be honest. It's more difficult in youth football. So have to make sure that I understand the levels and everything in this beautiful game before you can talk about leadership.
Talking about leadership, Coach, you're not in a rush, huh? You're still...
No, I'm here. I'm with you.
You're still with us. Okay. You'll give me permission to go to Zurich.
No, please.
Okay.
I would like to hear Zurich.
Okay. I love that. As I said, guys, I see the voice notes are coming through. Keep them coming through on the YouTube channel. We've still got a couple of more, plenty of questions. For Coach Pitso Mosimane, as he says, he's got plenty of time for us. We love that. And that's why I'm saying that with the clock ticking towards the 50 days until the World Cup gathers the spectacle. There was a time when this milestone meant something a little bit more. There was a time when the countdown itself was an event. When the energy, the anticipation, the global buzz, it could be felt, from Zurich to Soweto. And at the center of it all was the man who led world football through some of its most defining moments, from the historic staging of the 2010 FIFA World Cup on African soil. You talk about shaping the global expansion of the game. He's a former FIFA president. He's a man who has seen the World Cup from the inside. I'm talking about at the very, very highest of levels. That is Mr. Sepp Blatter. He joins us live from Zurich. Mr. Blatter, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening to South Africa, my country that I love so much, and good evening to everybody.
Good to hear your voice, Sepp. Thank you. Bring so many smiles to South Africans. They were saying on social media, please, if you talk to Sepp, just tell him that he changed our lives on the African continent and in South Africa in particular. How do those words sit with you?
What was the exact question to me?
Yeah, saying that you changed so many lives in South Africa because of bringing the World Cup to South Africa.
You see, the the World Cup in Africa, in South Africa. It was the first, this World Cup, and I had to take this decision because already in my development programs I have loved so much the continent, and I would say from the downside of the Sahara was my Africa, and in all my development programs, and then becoming the president of FIFA, then one of my ideas was one day I will bring this World Cup to South Africa, and then in the first occasion or opportunity it didn't work, but it worked in the second one, and that's why I was so proud that in 1970 the World Cup was in South Africa, and I'm still proud to say that it's the only World Cup in South Africa since. And the next, there will be a part somewhere in the northern part of Africa, but not in my Africa, and that's why I'm so happy tonight to be with you directly to express my not only satisfaction, but my joy to speak with you and to speak about the World Cup and some other things around the world.
Sepp, today obviously marks 50 days before the FIFA World Cup happens in the United States of America, Canada, as well as Mexico. I remember 2010, there was a lot of noise around this milestone. Right now, though, I mean, I don't see that global activity. I don't see those campaigns that were there before. How do you perceive this? What has gone wrong?
Yeah, now something very, very important has changed in the organization of the FIFA, which I have told my FIFA with all national associations around, and now the football is still attractive, is still very popular, but the specific World Cup, which will start now in mid-June in United States, is a very specific, very special one. I only hope that once the kickoff has been given, then the football will be back. Because so far, in the last year, we do not speak about the football there. We speak about immigration, we speak about politics, we speak about war, even war. And this is not the right, let's say, the right companion of a World Cup. When you organize a World Cup, even now in 3 countries, then the year before, 2 years before, you speak about football and not about all the problems that people going to the World Cup, they will face problems, it's very expensive and whatever. Now, it is, I would say, FIFA has lost a very good opportunity to present this World Cup in a very positive way. Now we have to wait that the kickoff is given. And then there is the espoir or esperance for me that when it started, everything will be calmed down. But for the time being, people are not so happy first to run into this World Cup, to run to the United States. They are not happy. It's so expensive and it is so insecure. So therefore, they are afraid, or at least they are not happy to go so. But as football still exists and football is still so popular, then I think when the kickoff is given, that the FIFA will be back. The spirit of FIFA, that I have created since my election in the World Cup, and the real spirit in FIFA has started in the World Cup in South Africa. The South Africa was the best legacy anybody and any president has ever given to the organization of the FIFA. And it cannot be repeated. It is unique. And I am the happiest man in the world tonight to speak with you in South Africa.
Thank you so much, Sepp. I mean, when you talk about South Africa and you talk about the World Cup and you make the comparison and you're saying that the energy is not the same. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, you've even said that it's not normal that, 78 of the 104 matches will be played there as well. So the new structure, the more football, the more teams that are there. How does that sit with you? How would you analyze this bigger World Cup?
You have to look at who is running now the FIFA and this World Cup. This World Cup is running, and we have to say it, it is running by the President of the United States. He has taken over this World Cup because the actual President of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, he was very happy to have a counterpart with him that they can realize, or they try to realize, something exceptional. But in this something exceptional, they have forgot one thing. They have forgot the game of football, which is the game of the people, which is a game around of the world with more than 2 billion followers. It is a game that creates the atmosphere to be together, to help each other, to lose a match, but to win the next one, and then to have this wonderful issue, a goal which is an objective. And you can see nowadays, everywhere in the world, somebody in football is scoring a goal. It is a fiesta. It is a fiesta because it's a realization of a wish or even of a goal, an objective of everybody to have an objective in his life. And in football, he gives it. And this shall remain. Football for the people. Football accessible to everybody. And now, for this World Cup, they have changed something. They have changed. They were touching not only the spirit, the spirit of the World Cup, but they have touched also in the interior of the World Cup. They have touched the soul of the World Cup, the soul of the World Cup. And this is not that. And you cannot touch the soul of the World Cup because touching the soul of the World Cup means that you are touching the world.
Sure. I mean, very powerful, Sepp, and a lot of people would agree with your sentiment that they've given the World Cup to the President of the United States of America. But what do you make of, the politics within? A couple of months back where the President of the U.S. has been given a peace prize, which was the first for FIFA. What did you make of that?
Yeah, listen, the problems belongs finally to the FIFA as a family. FIFA has 210 members, the national associations in all the world, including the South African Football Federation. And in the now going to this World Cup, and especially in the last, starting already in the last year, but beginning this year, all the problems which have been brought in by this famous, also the tirage au sort, where the players or where the teams have play with the award of the freedom giving to the president. I think this is not inside the World Cup. But what astonished me, and also not only surprised, but astonished me, that one single national association member of FIFA has even taken let's say, a critic or an opposition vote or so, including your and my South African Football Federation. Nobody has done anything. And so therefore, all those that are in the head, I say the two heads, one is the US president, the other one the FIFA president, they are there like dictators, and they decided what is going on. And this is not what is the spirit of our game.
I mean, you've described, aspects of the U.S. policy as potentially discriminatory. That's a very strong statement. Do you believe, though, that FIFA should take a firmer stance on such issues when awarding hosting rights? Because you're not a fan of multiple, you spread it across the U.S. and Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, but definitely. But I asked a question to you and to your footballers and the football organization in South Africa. Who is now conducting the FIFA? At a certain time, at my time, we have had a president and we have had an executive committee, and then we have had congresses to lead the FIFA. Nowadays, FIFA is led by one person, the FIFA president, and for this World Cup, which is USA, it's also a little bit in Canada and Mexico, but a little bit, because it's USA, they want that, USA. So it's a FIFA president with the president of USA. So where is the FIFA nowadays? The FIFA are the members, but the members, they have all agreed and they go to play there. So I can only, I will not criticize members of FIFA because these are also, they have been all my members, and I think that being the president, I was really the president of all members of FIFA, and specifically I was even criticized at a certain moment that I have too much attention to the African continent.
Maybe a quick question, just away from the World Cup. When you talk about the African continent, and this just comes to mind here, Sepp, has been what was spread right across the world after the Africa Cup of Nations, the AFCON tournament given to Senegal, then taken away, obviously pending the outcome of the CAS case of the appeal. What did you make of that whole issue? Senegal, the winners, we saw it on the field, they got the trophy, and then now, seemingly, it's Morocco who are the African champions.
Listen, I am disappointed and absolutely not satisfied. Now you are in Africa, and I have tried to give to the African continent not only the World Cup, but also the feeling that Africa in itself can be a wonderful part of all in life in the world, not only in football, but especially in football, and they can show how they can organize the football. And now they organize the African Cup of Nations, and then they had a winner of the African Cup of Nations. Now they don't know who's the winner finally. But it is disappointed. It's a shame for Africa. Why is it they are not able? Why are they not able to solve the problem inside Africa? Now they make the whole world are speaking about why you are not able to declare who has been the winner of the African Cup of Nations. I am disappointed, really, for my Africa. I am crying for my Africa.
How should we resolve it, though, seeing that we are where we are? And they
I
just
cannot. You listen. I am not a judge. I am not a judge, and I am not a general auditor. But I was so totally convinced that if you have an African problem in Africa, then solve it for the benefit not only for Africa, but for the world in general. And in football, it should be easy to do so. But don't ask me what is the solution, because I'm not a judge.
Yeah. No, fair point. You know, I look at you and I say, former president of FIFA, we got a World Cup in 50 days. And as a former president, do they invite you? Have you received your invitation? Would Sepp Blatter be going to the World Cup?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, but now they have forgotten in FIFA what I have done for football. But this is not important for me. The important is, and now I'm very happy that I can speak to South Africa and my South African friends now by radio, that I'm still front of. And then speaking about South Africa, I can never forget Mandela, because Mandela, he was a grand seigneur, Mandela, and he finished by saying, you should always forgive, but not forget. And I accepted his message, and I bring it through my life, even in my private life. And I was so happy to have met this outstanding chef d'etat. I was there when he was introduced as president, and that this is also a very good thoughts or thinking that I have. And then with the football organization in South Africa, they have organized a World Cup there. The Football Federation, they have made a wonderful job. Where are these people now? They have done this wonderful job. I think the president is still the same, but I don't know exactly. But they have done such a wonderful job. It would not have been possible for FIFA and for me to organize this World Cup with our organizing committee. We needed the help of the South African people, and they have done a wonderful job. And they have helped me and helped FIFA and helped the world to present this exceptional World Cup in 2010. It has never been, they tried to match it everywhere, but never. They just came about the success, that the fullest World Cup I have never met is a World Cup in South Africa.
Sure. Sepp, I think as we begin to wrap up our conversation, I got a tweet here from Makeba who says that please make Sepp Blatter understand that his groundbreaking drive to bring the FIFA World Cup to South Africa meant a lot to millions of South Africans, and that his legacy in that regard will never, ever be forgotten.
Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Sepp.
All the best to you and the population. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much indeed. Live from Zurich, there's Sepp Blatter coming through loud and clear. Hey, sure. Still sitting in the company of Dr. Pitso Mosimane. Sure. You are listening very carefully to that conversation. This man loves South Africa.
Yeah, you can never forget the president of FIFA giving us an opportunity to host this wonderful event, the first in Africa, and successfully done so, trusted us, believed in us, changed our lives. We're sitting with my daughter here, Lele, in the studio here. she was part of the McDonald's of the what do you call
the walk-in?
Yeah, walkings, and he doesn't forget the experience of that World Cup. So we as a family at home, because Moira was a technical leader of the organizing committee, LOC, on the technical and stadia infrastructure, training, grounds and everything. So what an opportunity for us in the family that sometimes we are passing each other on the corridors, me worried with the team, preparation of the team, and she telling me, no, the dressing room should have been like this and that, because that was her job, how many dressing rooms we have, training fields and everything. So that legacy is still there. And Lele was also one of those little girls who were coming out of the pitch with the players in the World Cup. Can you believe that?
I mean, that's a major
against
moment.
Mexico.
Yeah. My goodness. Unbelievable. I mean, he talks about the soul, soul of the game, the soul of football.
We can never forget. Never forget the soul of football, the soul of the World Cup and everything. But anyway. Yeah.
Interesting conversation. Like I said, guys, groundbreaking. We're going to clear a couple of voice notes, and I don't want to keep Coach here too long. I'm sure they're starting to phone and say, hey, dinner is served, eh?
Roberto, MSW shareholders, good evening. I've got only one question for Pitso Mosimane. Before Pitso went to coach Mamelodi Sundowns, did Ivan Khoza approach him to come and coach Orlando Pirates? That's the only question I'd love to know. If Pitso can answer that one. Oh, you are a very good coach. Pitso, you are a very, very good coach. We miss you, man. We miss you on the touch line.
Pirates?
The chairman, Dr. Khoza, we have chances where we meet and I reach out, to be honest. And we talk, we have tea. And we talk about football in general. And the chairman gets so emotional on the game because of his contribution to the game, and forever telling me the same story, but I don't know if he knows he's telling me the same story. How he started as a cashier at Orlando Pirates. He says, don't see me here as the leader of Orlando Pirates. I started at the gates. I was making sure that the queues outside Orlando Stadium are right, and telling me those stories, to humble me, to say, don't forget where you come from in football. So we talk, but we haven't touched the issue of coaching Orlando Pirates. I think, for me, the bigger issues are the learning or lessons learned that come from football, and reminding me of how why he was not happy that I was not the coach of the under-17 national team those years back, because he said he believed in me, and he said, I think there's a future here. You need to coach the under-17 national team. And Dr. Oliphant brought me to Safa to say, look, come here. You need to belong to this game, because we see that you love this game. And they gave me opportunity, Dr. Oliphant and Ivan Khoza. They brought me to Safa, I must tell you the truth. Even for the World Cup, they said, come here, there's an international event happening, learn something, and you belong to the international world. And I was at Supersport United. Can you believe that?
Sure. Well, made history there. What they used to call the SAA Super 8.
Yeah.
That was your playground, eh?
Yeah. Good, yeah.
Good, humble beginnings.
Memories, yeah, good, yeah.
Good memories.
Hey, Mr. Jingles. Robinho, you are sitting with a legendary man there. A legendary that as South Africans, we take time to appreciate, you see. But that gentleman He once stopped Orlando Pirates of Konstantin Papic with his party spoilers, Matatanza Pitori. So success with that man, calculating things, making sure that job is done well. It's like it's in the blood. He came to Mamelodi Sundowns. I remember there was a season that the fans there, they wanted him out. But since that day whereby the fans wanted to invade the ground, it kind of like it was a transformation of Mamelodi Sundowns. Pitso Mosimane built a monstrous Sundowns. It seems like right now there is no coach who will come to Sundowns and fail. But it's Jingles who started this pattern, you see. Right now, Sundowns are expected to be the champions of Africa whenever they play in CAF. Thanks, Jingles. Thanks for the memory and good luck for the future.
Maybe that's a good way to wrap things up, though. I don't know what we haven't touched on. Anything that you feel that everybody needs to know? I mean, that was a great one. Thanks so much for the voice notes, guys, in praising a man who deserves the praise that he gets. Coach, I'll leave the final words to you.
Thanks, Rob, for the opportunity, yes, and to come here and celebrate the past World Cup. I mean, listening to Sepp Blatter is emotional, to be honest. But for us at Pitso Mosimane Youth Football, I was sitting here with you a week after I never got the opportunity for the Sports School of Excellence because I was looking at the GDL. You see how God works, right? So now it's there in front of me. So I have no excuse to try and help this team, transform this team, giving the people of East Rand and asking all the people of East Rand from the Bennett Parkers to even Rowan Fernandez. The East, the East has always had white boys, white players in football. So I wish I can get few white boys also to play from the East because the East has got players. And I don't know why they have goalkeepers, even from Wayne Sandilands and them. So yeah, hopefully we can use this opportunity of GDL and give the people of Ekurhuleni a chance and opportunity of bringing back the good days, and maybe there's a Jabu Pule there or Skasham Konza
or Zeblon Sputlentlap
or Bongani Zungu. There's always talents. Nelson Teenage Lara, we can't just forget. So hopefully, I'm saying to all these people, if they are listening, whatever, to say, please help us at the East Rand, and you don't have to be from East Rand because Kaizer Chiefs has players from Cape Town, KZN, and all that. Let's give these children a chance to play against Mamelodi Sundowns, to play against Kaizer Chiefs, because what an opportunity to be on TV.
The world's watching, and that, like I always say, in the world of modern technology and social media, do go to the Instagram pages, TikToks, you name it. The Pitso Mosimane Foundation, Youth Foundation is there. He's the founder. They're well represented. You can go to Instagram as well. You can see it all there. So the programs are well covered as far as today's modern technology is concerned. So there is no excuse. Bring those talents out there, and we look forward to growing them even more and more and more. It's been an absolute pleasure, Baba, to see you and celebrate these 50 days to go. And as you can see the clock, it's already 1950. So maybe that's our luck to say, let's bounce, let's get out of here. It's 1950 on a Wednesday, 22nd of April, 2026. Dr. Pitso Mosimane, thank you so much, Baba. Look forward to seeing more of you.
Thanks for having me, Rap. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thanks for everybody that's sat through as well. The team that's given us extra time, that's worked with us. Always valuable working with the MSW team here. The flexibility and commitment and sacrifice, we don't take that for granted. And we'll meet again tomorrow, being a Thursday, #MSW. Catch you then.